Hey, welcome to XPPen 6 Weeks Animator Incubation. In this lesson, we're gonna do a very simple animation of a box sliding from one side to the another. This is gonna be the animation. You can see how smooth it looks. It's really nice. That's the type of animation that I want you to be able to do. It's very simple, but really helpful when you're starting in animation. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do, and it's going to be very easy if you follow our methods. Okay, let's get it started. Right now I'm here in Clip Studio Paint. I'm going to start a new document pressing Ctrl N right here, then click on animation 1920 by 1080. You can select the preset here. And then the frame rate, I'm going to let it as 24, and the playback time, this is the frames, is going to be around 50. So let's press OK, and now we are ready to start. The first thing I want to do is name the animation folder. Double click and name it box. Okay, now I click on this new layer, this new cell, and that automatically selects the layer in the layers panel. So clicking here on the timeline, and then I'm going to press U to select the figure drawing, and from the subtool, I'm going to select rectangle. Then I'm going to click and drag holding shift right there. Then I press Ctrl T and then put this around here. Okay, now I just press enter, and there we go. So now we're ready to do the animation, but before that, I want to do a little plan in here. Here's what I want to do. I want to have the square right here, and then I want to plan the timing. It's going to be a timing where we can see visually how the slow in and slow out is going to look. So let me show you how to do it inside Clip Studio Paint. All you have to do here is create a new animation layer. Just click here where it says new animation folder, and then click here, double click, and I'm gonna call it plan. I like to call it plan. Then I press Q to add a new cell with our shortcuts. You can also just click there, new animation cell, and then I have the figure drawing selected, and instead of choosing the rectangle, I'm using the straight line. I just click there, and then I just click and drag, and then I hold shift, so it's a very straight line. Now here's what I want. I want the lines, the little lines I'm gonna be putting here, to be aligned with this part of the cube. Okay, so what I'm doing here is that I'm imagining that this is going to move here, and I want the square to fit in here. That's why I left a little bit of space. Okay, so this has to be aligned with that side of the square. Okay, so now I'm almost ready. All I have to do now is in that same plan layer, let me click again. That selects it on the layers panel. I press B, and now I'm going to do this. Look, it's very easy. I just divide it in half. I select the start point and the end point. Then I divide it in half, and then I divide those in half again. And then I divide them in half again. And then again. Then again. And one last time. There you go. That is going to give me the slow in and slow out that I need. Okay, now in the timeline, I click on the box. Okay, now we are ready to start using our shortcuts. I'm gonna be using number 4 to insert a duplicate forward, and I'm going to be using, on my XPPen artist, I'm going to be using K2, which is the transform. It's the same as pressing Ctrl T. I'm gonna be using this button, but I'm going to mention K2. I'm gonna say Ctrl T, and you can also see it here. So let's get ready. I click on the first one. Oh, by the way, before I start anything, this is something that in YouTube tutorials, they didn't explain correctly. Before you do any techniques that we're gonna show you, you have to press number 6. So this is inserted in a folder layer. Let me undo that. The other way to do that is the slow way, doing a right click and then create folder and insert folder. That's it. Now you select the layer again, and that's it. Now we are ready. Before I start animating, I press Shift Q to activate the onion skin. You can also activate it here. Shift Q is faster for me. The other thing is that I want these settings. I press Shift W, that opens the onion skin settings, which you can also get if you go to animation, then show animation cells, and then onion skin settings. Right there, I have the previous frame 5 and then next frame 5. So I'm showing 5 frames for each, and these are the colors I'm using. I press OK, and now we're ready. Click on this, the frame 1. Then press 4, Ctrl T, and look, now I'm ready. I just move this a little bit to the side, and actually I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I want to see the whole animation. Okay, let me press Ctrl T and put it there. And you know what? I'm going to take this cell, let me select cell 1 on the plan, then press Ctrl T and bring this up and closer right here. When you hold Shift, let me just give you this tip. I can use the arrow keys, right? And it goes slowly. And if I hold Shift, it goes faster. It takes bigger jumps. So I'm gonna be using that a lot. Okay, now I press Enter, which is the same as pressing OK, and then go back to frame 2. There you go, it's aligned. Now very easily, on frame 2, I press 4, Ctrl T, and then move it with the arrow keys. There you go. And then 4, Ctrl T. I move it a little bit more. Then 4, Ctrl T. Look how easy this is. Isn't it? Super easy. 4, Ctrl T. And then I move it again. And then 4, Ctrl T. And then I'm going to hold Shift and drag it. And then 4, Ctrl T. Drag it again using Shift. Then 4, Ctrl T, drag it again, hold 4, Ctrl T, and then a little bit more, Enter, 4, Ctrl T, I put it there, Enter, 4, Ctrl T, very easy, and then 4, Ctrl T, and we are done. Now look at the animation we have so far. I press W, really smooth, right? So now what I'm going to do is hold this for 10 frames. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to be pressing the letter V to move forward, and I'm going to count 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. Right there. It's going to be held actually 12 frames. I'm going to push 2 more. 1, 2. So I'm on frame 37. In there, I'm going to add a duplicate of this one. Actually, not a duplicate. It's going to be a reference of this one because I want the box to be going to one side and then going back. For that, I just use this keyframe. This is the slow way. Let me show you first the slow way is right click and then selecting 12. And then I go forward, then right click, right? But that's too slow for me. I prefer to press A and then 11, enter. Oh, super fast. Then double V, right, to go 2 frames forward. A10, super fast. And then forward A9, forward A8, then forward A7, forward A5, forward A4, forward A3, forward A2, forward A1. And that's it. Now I have all these layers going back. Super fast and super easy. It's going forward and then going back. Now all I need to do is to take this handle and then bring it in, and I'm gonna leave just 2 frames at the end. Only 2 frames. So it's 1, 2. I'm pressing V and C to go back and forth with the animation. Okay, so it's 2 frames here, but here's the thing. I'm going to press space and then go to the beginning. And in here, you're gonna see that this side is being held for 12 frames, right? And I want the same with this first position. So all I do is press Ctrl F and then add 10 frames. Okay, so in here we have 12 because we had, let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's being held for 12 frames. And in here it's being held for, that's frame 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And so I want the same number in here. So I'm just going to insert 2 more frames in here because at the end we have 2 extra. So at the end of this one, just click here, Ctrl F, Tab, type 2, enter. That's it. Now it's being held for the same time. I press W and we now have an animation. Really cool. Now let me hide the plan and we are done. Look how smooth this is. I love it. Really easy, and hopefully you were able to get the same exact result. Now, to finish up with this lesson, we want to wrap up this in the layers panel. Look at this mess. What the heck is all of that? Okay, don't worry. In here, I'm going to show you why this is going to pay off. I'm going to be doing this. Let me first show you in Clip Studio Paint. This is what I'm doing. I'm gonna be pressing Alt-Shift-E and that merges that folder. The same with the next one. I can select the next one and then press Alt-Shift-E. A faster way to do it is to select the layer below by pressing Alt-Shift and then open bracket. Haha! So in here, here's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be holding Alt and Shift right here. And then I'm gonna be pressing E and then the open bracket. Like that. It's gonna be super, super fast. Look at this. It's going to be Alt-E and then like that. So this is 4, 3, 2, and 1. There you go. Now everything is set up. And if I want, I can take the whole animation, press, click on frame 1, and then layer 1, shift, layer 13, then press Ctrl T, and just make sure that it's perfectly centered. There you go. Now it's perfect. Okay, so we have that animation. And that's it. Now in the next one, in the next lesson, we're gonna do the pendulum. It's going to be basically the same, but we're going to add a little bit more of a challenge there. Okay, so see you in the next lesson.